Let's begin with something we often overlook. Most battles we fight happen inside our own minds. And the scariest part? Many of us are not even aware of them. Negative thought patterns like, "I'm not good enough," "I always mess up," or "nothing ever works out for me," aren't just passing thoughts. Over time, they become mental habits, shaping how we see the world, how we treat ourselves, and how we respond to challenges. These patterns don't just appear out of nowhere. They're often built over time through childhood conditioning, where we might have been criticized more than encouraged, past failures, which left emotional scars, or toxic environments, where we constantly felt compared, judged, or dismissed. Now here's the catch. The brain is a pattern recognition machine. If you keep thinking, "I'm not enough," your brain starts seeing the world through that lens. You misread people's reactions, doubt your achievements, and sabotage opportunities, not because they're not real, but because your mindset has been wired that way. But here's the truth most people don't realize. Your thoughts are not facts. They are just interpretations, and they can be challenged, reframed, and eventually rewired. In this video series, we'll learn how to break those mental loops and train a mindset that is resilient, constructive, and aligned with your true potential. But first, we must start by identifying the problem. Take a moment today and observe. What's your inner voice been saying lately? Is it kind or critical? Encouraging or draining? Because recognizing the voice inside your head is the first brave step toward changing the way you experience the world. Now that we've acknowledged the voice inside our heads, let's understand why it feels so powerful. The answer lies in neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and adapt based on repeated experiences and thoughts. Think of your brain like a field. Every thought you think is like walking across that field. If you keep walking the same path, let's say thoughts like, "I'm a failure," or "no one likes me," you eventually create a trail, and your brain starts to default to that route. Over time, these thoughts become automatic. The more you think them, the more your brain strengthens that neural pathway. That's why negative self-talk becomes habitual. It's not that it's true, it's that it's been practiced. Let's break it down with a simple example. If someone fails a test once and thinks, "I'm not smart," that thought might sting but pass. But if they repeat it every time they face a challenge, eventually that becomes part of their identity, not just a passing feeling. Now, here's the hopeful part. You can break that loop. Just as the brain forms negative patterns, it can also form positive and empowering ones. But it doesn't happen by accident. It requires awareness of the recurring thought, interruption of the pattern as it happens, and repetition of a more empowering truth. For example, if your default is, "I'm not good enough," try catching that thought, pausing, and replacing it with, "I'm learning and growing, and that's enough for today." At first, it will feel strange or even fake. But remember, you didn't believe the negative thoughts overnight either. They took time. The positive ones will too. This is the heart of mental rewiring. Not ignoring negative thoughts, but consciously choosing a better alternative every time they show up. In the next part, we'll explore practical daily habits that help train your mind to become more self-supportive, focused, and mentally strong. Let's build the new trail, one step at a time. Rewiring your mindset isn't about one big breakthrough. It's about consistent small wins that reshape the way your brain functions. Here are some daily habits that are scientifically backed to help you break old patterns and create stronger, healthier ones. 1. Start your day with intentional thoughts. Before checking your phone or diving into stress, take 2 to 3 minutes in the morning to focus your mind. Say to yourself, "Today, I choose clarity over confusion." I don't have to be perfect, just present. These micro-affirmations don't need to be loud or dramatic, just true and intentional. Starting with calm focus makes it easier to carry resilience into the day. 2. Journaling. Get the noise out of your head. Don't underestimate the power of writing. Even 5 minutes of brain dumping your thoughts, without judging or editing, can clear emotional clutter and help you recognize recurring patterns. Follow it with a simple prompt, like, "What is one thing I did right yesterday?" This redirects your mind toward progress instead of pressure. 3. Practice. Thought replacement, not suppression. You can't control every negative thought, but you can train your brain to replace them. If the thought is, "I can't handle this," counter it gently with, "I've handled difficult things before. I can take this one step at a time." You're not pretending. You're choosing a more helpful narrative. 4. Limit negative input. What you consume shapes your inner world. Too much comparison, doom scrolling, or negativity from social media can reinforce feelings of inadequacy. Be intentional. Follow creators that inspire and educate. Listen to uplifting podcasts. Create a calming digital space. 5. Mindfulness or quiet reflection. You don't need to meditate for an hour. Just sit still for 3 minutes a day. Observe your breath, your body, your surroundings. This stillness helps you become an observer of your thoughts rather than a prisoner of them. 6. Celebrate small wins. Your brain needs evidence to believe new thoughts, so give it some. Every time you show up, complete a task, speak kindly to yourself, or handle a tough moment with grace, acknowledge it, write it down, say it aloud, own your growth. The goal isn't to never think negatively. It's to become so practiced at redirecting your mind that negativity loses its grip over time. In Part 4, we'll look at how to handle setbacks and relapses without falling back into self-blame or hopelessness. Because setbacks will come, but your mindset can be strong enough to carry you through. Setbacks are not signs of failure. They're part of the rewiring process. The truth is, no one upgrades their mindset without stumbling along the way. The difference lies in how we respond to those stumbles. Let's break down a healthy, resilient approach to setbacks. 1. Normalize the fall one bad day, one slip into old habits, one anxious spiral. These don't erase your progress. They test your capacity to treat yourself with compassion. Say to yourself, "This is part of the learning curve, not a reset, just a reminder." This mindset helps you rebound faster and softer. 2. Stop the self-blame spiral. When we mess up, the brain's default is often to punish. "Why can't I get this right? I'm so weak." But self-blame isn't productive. It deepens the wiring you're trying to undo. Instead, interrupt the spiral with, "What triggered this, and how can I support myself better next time?" This transforms a mistake into a lesson, not a verdict. 3. Zoom out and see the bigger pattern. Imagine tracking your mindset shifts like a graph. One low point doesn't cancel out an upward trend. Look back at the last few weeks. Are you more aware of your thoughts? Are you catching negativity sooner? Are you building better habits, even if imperfectly? If the answer is yes, you're still moving in the right direction. 4. Use gentle self-talk. During hard moments, treat yourself the way you'd treat a friend going through the same struggle. Ask, "What would I say to someone I love who's feeling this way?" Often, we discover we're harsh on ourselves in ways we'd never be to others. Gentle self-talk is not weakness. It's emotional maturity in action. 5. Set micro-recoveries in motion. Don't wait to feel motivated again. Start small. After a setback, try one tiny act that reminds your brain, we're still in this. Examples. Take a walk outside. Write down one encouraging sentence. Read or listen to something uplifting. Hydrate, rest, breathe. These are recovery cues that your mind begins to associate with resilience. 6. Celebrate the bounce back, not just the perfect streak. Consistency isn't about never slipping. It's about how quickly and kindly you return. Every bounce back, no matter how small, rebuilds trust with yourself. Over time, this trust becomes your foundation. You can have the strongest willpower in the world, but if your environment constantly reinforces negativity, self-doubt, or limitation, you'll feel like you're swimming upstream every single day. To rewire your mindset successfully, you need to curate the world around you as carefully as you're curating your inner voice. Let's break this down. 1. People. Your mind mirrors your circle. We subconsciously adopt the attitudes, language, and emotional tone of the people closest to us. Ask yourself, do they encourage growth or keep you small? Do they reflect confidence and self-respect, or complain and blame? It's not about cutting people off. It's about setting boundaries. Spending more time with those who inspire, uplift, and challenge you positively. Finding mentors or online communities that represent the mindset you're building. You don't have to go it alone. Mindset is contagious. Make sure you're catching the right one. 2. Spaces. Your physical environment talks to your brain. Your room, your desk, your phone screen, they all send signals to your brain, subtle but powerful. Clutter can reinforce chaos. A toxic work environment can reinforce helplessness. A space with affirmations, order, light, and calm can reinforce clarity and control. Try this. Change just one element of your space today. Even a sticky note that says you're growing can shift your mental state over time. 3. Media diet. What you consume shapes what you believe. If you scroll through content filled with comparison, outrage, or fear, you're feeding your brain those emotions. Every video, podcast, tweet, and song is a form of programming. Ask, does this make me more centered or more anxious? Does this help me believe in possibility or in limitation? Be ruthless. Replace junk input with content that fuels the mindset you want. Podcasts on growth books that challenge and expand your thinking. Inspirational creators, not shallow distractions. Your feed should feed your future self. 4. Routines and triggers. Build a growth ecosystem. Design your daily environment to automatically cue growth. Examples. Place your journal on your pillow to reflect before bed. Set reminders that say, breathe or recenter during your most stressful hours. Start your day with silence, intention, or gratitude instead of instant noise. You're building a mental gym around you, and like any gym, the equipment you use will determine your results. 5. Audit and adjust regularly. Your environment isn't static. It evolves, and so should your awareness. Make it a habit to ask monthly, what in my life is draining me versus nourishing me? Then make tiny shifts. Sometimes the key to better thoughts isn't more willpower. It's fewer mental landmines around you. In Part 6, we'll bring everything together. How to create a sustainable, long-term practice for rewiring your mindset that sticks, even when life gets chaotic. So far, we've uncovered how negative thought patterns form, how to interrupt them, and how to build a more empowering inner voice. But here's the truth. The real transformation doesn't come from what you learn. It comes from what you repeat. Mindset rewiring is a daily discipline, not a one-time breakthrough. Here's how to make it sustainable and deeply transformative. 1. Anchor your practice with a daily check-in. Just 5 minutes a day can shift your mental trajectory. Ask yourself, what's the dominant voice in my head today? What emotion am I carrying, and is it rooted in truth or fear? What thought pattern needs replacing today? Even brief reflection creates massive long-term awareness. You don't need perfection, you need consistency. 2. Create a personal power toolkit. Everyone has bad days. That's why you need tools on standby, things that reconnect you to clarity, calm, and courage. Build your go-to reset system. Examples: a calming playlist, screenshots of affirmations that actually resonate with your life, a 3-minute voice note to yourself reminding you why you're on this path, breathing techniques, or a 60-second cold water splash to reset the nervous system. Having these tools means setbacks don't spiral. You bounce back faster because you've prepared for the dip. 3rd, track the small wins. They matter most. Mindset doesn't shift in one massive leap. It changes in one moment of choosing peace over panic, one evening of journaling instead of numbing, one morning where you silence the critic and take action anyway. Celebrate those. Write them down. They're evidence that your inner rewiring is working. 4th, revisit the vision. Often, why are you rewiring your mindset? Write that reason somewhere. You'll see it often. Maybe it's so you don't pass down your pain to the next generation, so you can finally live from self-worth, not insecurity. So you can build something you've always dreamed of, with belief, not fear. When motivation dips, and it will, reconnect to your why. It reignites everything. 5. Expect resistance and rewire. Anyway, some days you'll feel tired. Some days your old beliefs will feel louder than ever. That's not failure. That's proof your brain is changing. Neural pathways don't vanish overnight. They get weaker with disuse, while new ones grow stronger with repetition. Tell yourself, I don't have to feel amazing today. I just have to show up with intention. That's how real transformation happens. 6. Turn it into a lifestyle, not a task. Eventually, mindset rewiring becomes your default operating system. You notice toxic thoughts before they take over. You speak to yourself like someone worth supporting. You filter your environment with discernment. You bounce back faster, think deeper, and lead softer. This isn't self-help fluff. It's lifelong mental fitness. It's not just about positive thinking. It's about powerful living. Final thoughts. You're not broken. You're not too late. You're not your past voice. You're rewiring. You're reconditioning. You're rebuilding from the inside out. And that's real power. If this series has added value to your growth journey, consider subscribing, liking, or sharing it with someone you care about. We'll continue creating deep, real, and practical content to help you live from the inside out.